All right, so Roku, huh? This company's stock is, well, rocketing, and we're going to figure out why.
Yeah, they've been in the news a lot lately. Investors seem pretty excited.
Excited's an understatement. It's a gamble they're taking, right? Staying neutral while Amazon and Apple, these giants, they want everything for themselves.
True, true. This is the big question, can they pull it off?
Exactly. To figure that out, we got to go past just the headlines about the stock price.
Right, got to dig deeper.
Okay, so picture this. It's February 14th, 2025, Valentine's Day. And Roku, they just dropped their Q4 earnings report for 2024.
I bet some investors are feeling the love.
Yeah, the stock's at a 52-week high.
Wall Street's happy, that's for sure. The article we're looking at it lays out 5 reasons why. Starting with, well, they're just doing really well financially. Roku, they blew past what analysts thought they'd make.
Like, by a lot?
Oh yeah, a whopping $1.2 billion in revenue just in Q4.
Okay, beating expectations, that's always a good thing. But here's the thing, it's not just a one-off. They've been doing this consistently, quarter after quarter.
And that's what gets people excited, right? It's not luck at this point.
Definitely not. This is momentum, serious momentum. And on top of that, that $1.2 billion, that's a 22% increase from last year. Biggest jump since, like, early 2022.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of growth, it's a signal. Investors see that, and it tells them Roku isn't just hanging on, they're thriving.
Yeah, in a tough market, too. Streaming's competitive.
Super competitive. And get this, for the first time ever, their platform revenue, just that part, went over $1 billion.
Whoa, they crossed the billion-dollar mark. So what's that really telling us about what they're doing?
I think it shows how they're changing. Remember they started with those little streaming boxes?
Yeah, I remember those.
Now the big money, it's the platform itself, ads, services, all that stuff built on top.
So they're not just competing with other boxes anymore. They're taking on, like, the whole Amazon Prime, Google TV thing.
Yeah, the ecosystems, it's a bigger game, riskier for sure, but the payoff could be huge. Okay, on to reason number 2 for this stock surge. It's all about the users. How many people are using Roku?
Engagement, right? Got to keep people watching.
Yep, and they've got 89.8 million households on the platform.
Wait, so that's more than half of, like, everyone in the U.S. with internet, right?
Yeah, over half of all broadband households. It's massive. And I think it's because they've stayed neutral. Like we were saying before, they let you watch anything, any service.
They're not pushing their own stuff. They're like, come on in, everyone's welcome.
Exactly. And people like that. So they're gaining users, and they're taking market share from, you guessed it, Amazon and Google.
It's like they're Switzerland, neutral ground in this big streaming war. But it's not just about having a lot of users. It's about them actually using it. What are the numbers like there?
So how much people are actually streaming, that's going up too. Per household, they're watching more. In Q4, it was an 18% increase year over year.
That's huge. People aren't just signing up and forgetting about it.
Nope, they're hooked. And you know where a big chunk of that engagement's coming from? Their own channel.
Oh, the Roku channel. Okay, so reason number 3, the Roku channel, it's doing really well. Some people might not even know what that is. Can you explain?
Sure. So it's Roku's own streaming service. It's free, and they make money from ads. They're trying to build it up, kind of like how Amazon did Prime Video.
So they're trying to be a content powerhouse too, not just the platform.
Yeah, but they're being smart about it. They're not just throwing random stuff on there. It's curated movies, shows. They even have live channels now.
And this isn't just a side project for them. The Roku channel is like a top 5 channel on the platform.
It's beating out some big names. They're using data to figure out what people want. Then they go get the rights to that stuff. And guess what? It's working. Remember that 82% increase in streaming hours? Well, a lot of that's coming from the Roku channel.
Okay, so they're giving people free content, which gets more viewers, and then they make money from ads.
Win-win, but got to be honest here, there's the big question, the one everyone's thinking about.
Profitability, right, making money.
Exactly, that's reason number 4. I know they reported a loss for Q4.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. How does that make sense?
It's about the bigger picture. See, for the whole year of 2025, they're saying the loss will be about $40 million.
Okay, still a loss, but I feel like there's something existing.
You got it. They think that whole loss, it'll happen in the first 3 months of the year.
Wait, so the rest of the year, they'd be breaking even?
You got it. And they're aiming for actual profit, positive operating income in 2026. So they're not there yet, but they're on their way. Investors can see that.
This is why the financial stuff matters, right? Show if a company's actually sustainable.
It's the story behind the numbers. Growth is great, but profit is the goal. And there's one more thing we got to talk about. It's called ARPU. Stands for average revenue per user. It's a fancy way of saying how much money Roku's making off of each person using their platform. Super important if you're a company that relies on ads and subscriptions.
Okay, so this ARPU thing, it's reason number 5 for why the stock is doing so well.
Yeah, investors love a good ARPU story, especially when it's going up.
Meaning they're getting better at making money from the people already using Roku. They don't always need more and more users.
Exactly. And after being flat for a while, Roku's ARPU is finally going up again. In Q4 2024, it hit $41.49. That's a 4% increase from the year before.
4%, not a crazy number?
No, but it's the first real jump we've seen in 2 years. And it tells us they're finding new ways to make money, which is crucial.
So it's a good sign?
Definitely. Especially in this crazy world of streaming, it shows they're adapting.
It's like they're walking this tightrope, right? Getting more viewers with the free stuff, but also offering more like premium things and using all that data to sell more ads.
They're juggling a lot, but doing a pretty good job so far. But here's the thing. Can they keep this up? Remember, they're up against some big, powerful companies. Amazon, Google, they've got tons of money, and they want to control everything.
Yeah, it's like Dave and Goliath or something. What makes you think Roku can stay ahead of those guys?
Well, they're doing something different. They're not trying to lock you in, make you use only their stuff. It's like whatever streaming service you like, they're cool with it. They just want to be the place you go to watch it all.
Like they're not building walls, they're opening the doors.
Exactly. It's the opposite of a walled garden. And you know what? People are getting tired of being stuck. They want choices.
Roku gives them that. But you mentioned earlier the content, how they're getting it. That's important too, right?
Oh, yeah. Huge. It's not just random. They're using data, figuring out what people want to watch, and then they go get it.
Smart. You said something about like classic shows.
Yeah, they got a bunch of old sitcoms and dramas, the kind everyone loves. That's like a base for the Roku channel, and then they add new stuff, originals, things that might become the next big hit.
So familiar and new, something for everyone. They're not afraid to take some risks with the content.
Nope, like they just made a deal to make a show based on these sci-fi books. Everyone's talking about it. Plus, they're working with some big production companies, the same ones making stuff for Netflix and HBO.
Keeping up with the big boys. And hey, we can't forget about the Roku channel itself. It's a real player now, right? People are cutting the cord, ditching cable, and this is a good alternative.
Totally. It's free, got a bunch of stuff to watch, and the ads. That's bringing in serious money for Roku.
So they're getting more viewers, making money from ads. It's a smart move. But let's be real for a second. Things change fast. New companies pop up all the time, and people, well, they can be fickle.
Oh yeah, the streaming world, it's unpredictable. Roku can't just sit back and relax.
So what are the big challenges for them? What do they need to watch out for?
Well, the competition, it's fierce. Like we said, Amazon and Google, they have so much money, and they'll push their own stuff hard. Roku's got to keep doing things differently, got to give people a reason to choose them.
You said staying neutral, that's their advantage. But I've also heard people say that means they don't have as much control, might not make as much money as if they had their own walled garden. What do you think?
It's a trade-off, no easy answer. If they stay neutral, they don't make people mad who love a certain service, but they also can't push their own stuff as hard. Might miss out on some money.
So it's a balancing act. They got to figure out what works best. What about the content itself? Is that a problem for them?
It could be. What they've been doing has worked, but people always want more. They got to keep investing, make their own stuff, get the rights to the popular shows, maybe even team up with other studios.
It's like an arms race. Everyone's trying to get the best content.
And Roku needs to stay in the game. But they got to be smart about it. Can't just throw money around. They need to make good choices, pick the right stuff, and make sure people know about it.
Sounds complicated.
It is. But from what we've seen, Roku's got the smarts to handle it. They've got a good platform, lots of users, they're picking good content, and they're on the path to making money.
So you're optimistic.
I am. They're doing a lot of things right. But they can't get lazy. Things are changing all the time. Got to stay one step ahead.
So the big question, can they keep it up? Can they beat the giants?
That's the million-dollar question. Roku's playing a high-stakes game. But they've got what it takes, the platform, the users, the strategy. The only thing left is, well, time will tell.
Yeah, it's a real David versus Goliath story. Makes you think, what will the streaming world look like in a few years? It's kind of crazy, right? Like, Roku's at this tipping point. They've done so much, but now the pressure's on. It makes you think about the bigger picture. Streaming in general, it's changed how we watch everything.
Yeah, think about it. Just a few years ago, it was all cable. Now it's like everyone's streaming. It's not just what we watch, it's how we watch it.
So much control.
Totally. And choices more than ever. Remember when we were kids, you had to watch whatever was on whenever it was on.
Oh, yeah, stuck with a TV guide.
Now, like the whole world of movies and shows is right there whenever you want it.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is. It's like the power shifted from the people making the shows to, well, us, the viewers.
We decide what to watch, when to watch it, how to watch it.
Exactly. But that's also why it's so competitive now. All these streaming services, they all want you to pick them.
It's kind of overwhelming sometimes. So many choices. But I guess that's good too, right? Keeps them trying to be better.
For sure. They got to keep improving, make better stuff, make it easier to use, give us more for our money.
So where does Roku fit in all this? They don't make the shows themselves, so what are they doing?
They're like the bridge. They bring everything together. All those streaming services, Roku makes it easy to find them all.
And if they want to keep winning, they got to stay ahead of everyone else, see what's coming next, make sure people love using Roku.
Totally. Easy to use, tons of stuff to watch, all the cool features. That's what people want.
Okay, let's bring it back to our listener for a sec. What does all this mean for the everyday person watching TV?
Well, the big thing is more options. No more being stuck with just cable. You got movies, shows from all over the world.
It's like a giant menu. You pick whatever you want.
I watch it however you want. No more schedules, no more commercials. It's all about you.
That's why streaming's so great. You're in control. But what about the future? What's next for streaming, you think?
Well, I think it'll get even more personal. Like, they'll use what you watch to suggest stuff you'll like. We might see more interactive stuff where you can choose what happens in the show.
Oh, cool.
And who knows, maybe virtual reality, augmented reality, that stuff could become a big part of entertainment. Like, you're actually in the show.
Wow, that's wild. And Roku, they seem like they're ready for all this.
Oh, yeah, they're not just waiting to see what happens. They're making it happen.
They're adapting and being creative.
That's how they got here, right? But they can't stop now. Things are only going to get more competitive.
All right, so as we wrap this up, our deep dive on Roku, what's the one thing our listeners should remember?
Pay attention to Roku. They're doing big things, not just with their stock price, but with how we watch TV. They're leading the way, changing things. Keep watching. It's going to be interesting.
That's it for today's deep dive on Roku. We covered a lot, their finances, their strategy, what it all means for the future of entertainment. Roku's right in the middle of this streaming battle, doing things their own way. Can they keep it up? Only time will tell. That's for you to decide. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.